Hello, welcome to this OSEP session on a collaborative approach to diversity and professional growth. This is Dr. Ashley Voggt presenting on behalf with Jennifer Gerlach and Phyllis Robertson from Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. The purpose of this session is to discuss the recent grant that we were awarded by OSEP in terms of teacher preparation and collaborative approach for that. We'll get into Project FLICS. And first of all, the abstract for this session is to discuss the goals of Project FLICS while addressing the strand supporting a diverse educator workforce and professional growth to strengthen student learning. So again, this is a collaborative approach, an interdisciplinary team-based effort really between special education and school counseling at Texas A&M University. There is currently some shared coursework, so this mesh up really lended itself well to an interdisciplinary effort. And it's important to keep in mind that we are built on four pillars of efforts here related to multi-tiered systems of support at the tier 3 level, evidence-based practices, universal design for learning, and database decision making. Again, at this interdisciplinary team-based effort for serving individuals with extensive and pervasive supports. So the rationale for this grant was that we are serving youth who require extensive supports. And of course, they have been known to have bleaker outcomes, according to Lipscomb et al. And efforts that were put together by this team to show longitudinal outcomes for people with disabilities compared to their same age peers on a variety of different factors. So in school settings specifically, we know that students who require extensive supports have limited access to free and appropriate public education in a least restrictive environment and access the general curriculum less often than their same age typically developing peers do, and that there's an underpreparedness for personnel with high rates of attrition. So this leads itself to the need for why we are providing this grant and why it's important to serve these students. So specifically, school personnel are underprepared to serve youth with high intensity needs, and that exacerbates those limitations even more. There are high rates of attrition for special education teachers, educational diagnosticians, and school counselors that have been demonstrated over the past several years, past decade for sure. The research suggests that youth with extensive support needs respond best to evidence-based practices who are delivered by those highly trained personnel, but yet there continues to persist a research to practice gap. And that the statewide shortages in special education teachers, educational diagnosticians, and school counselors has also been demonstrated, which is again highlighting the need for the services that we're providing here and the efforts for this grant. So next, I'm just going to break down a little bit about Project FLICS and why this is an important collaborative approach to interdisciplinary efforts for servicing students who require extensive supports on various levels, especially through efforts related to special education teachers, educational diagnosticians, and school counselors. So first, the ideas are that we are addressing 4 areas of need through this grant, and that is, first of all, to increase the personnel in Texas who are fully prepared to serve students who have high intensity needs to alleviate chronic personnel shortages. We also hope that we are developing strategic interdisciplinary grants, interdisciplinary competencies, and to work together in a way that is collaborative with various stakeholders to provide those services for students who have high intensity needs. We also want to hope that we are providing those services for students who require intensive, individualized, evidence-based interventions delivered by people who are going to be highly trained, and then to ensure equity and access for treatment and eligible project participants. So recruiting historically underrepresented students and scholars based on color, national origin, gender, age, and disability. Our project has 4 primary objectives, and those are to address the current shortage of teachers and related service providers, educational diagnosticians, and school counselors. We also hope that we are developing and implementing an interdisciplinary master's program to prepare special education teachers and school counselors to work in interdisciplinary teams through collaborative efforts, shared coursework, and clinical experiences. When we are preparing our special education teachers and school counselors to work collaboratively to serve those students who have those highest intensity needs, we're doing so using evidence-based practices, database decision-making, universal design for learning, technology-based supports, and other efforts that have been shown through research to be successful. And finally, our objectives related to recruitment to recruit and retain special education and school counselors from those typically historically underrepresented groups. So each of these objectives correspond to those areas of need. And the next section here outlines other considerations in terms of our recruitment efforts, being very intentional as we are a Hispanic serving institution. And we hope that our scholars are representing the classroom population of our students as well. We have alignment efforts to best practices supporting adult learning. Currently, our programs are all aligned with TEA, Texas Education Agency, CEC, Council for Exceptional Children, and KCREP, the school counselor standards. We also have efforts in aligning for adult learning theory and technology learning theory. We're going to be aligning our programs further with other efforts related to CEDAR and program development and best practices for student supervision in clinical settings, according to CEDAR and KCREP. Finally, there are other matrices which our programs are going to align with that considers teaching works and CEC's high leverage practices using the Montana Effective Practices Alignment Matrix. And that aligns the Danielson framework with CEC and teaching works high leverage practices. We also have the CAS matrix that aligns high leverage practices with Danielson framework and the teaching for UDL. So there's several alignment efforts that are going to make sure that we are providing the most up-to-date evidence-based structured practices for our scholars. We are going to be supporting a total of 35 scholars, or 20 special education scholars and 15 school counseling scholars. This is involving the program structure in terms of 46 hours to earn a master's degree with educational diagnosticians and 66 hours to earn the school counseling specialist degree. Project FLICS involves 18 hours of shared coursework, 9 of which are existing currently as a LIDS or low incidence disability transcripted certificate, which is why we're able to target those high intensity support needs students through that transcripted certificate sequence. We also have an additional shared course with school counseling and between school counseling and educational diagnosticians, and one in research, as well as semester-long interdisciplinary clinical field experience. So all in all, it takes about 3 years for our scholars to complete Project FLICS. And again, we're going to be addressing a total of 35 scholars across the board. The next piece is on our evaluation efforts, and you can see here, based on our logic model, our inputs in terms of how we are going to be utilizing supports to encourage the success of this grant. And we have here our faculty members, which is myself and my colleagues, Jennifer Gerlach and Phyllis Robertson. We also have consulted content experts, as well as a local advisory board for stakeholders within the community and local school districts. We have an external evaluator, graduate assistants who may be involved in supporting this grant, as well as other special education and school counseling faculty. We have external and internal financial support available to us, partners within the community and at the school districts, within the university resources. We have OSEC technical assistance centers to consult, and professional standards for alignment, and as well as state standards for licensures. The outcomes, of course, are that we're going to recruit and retain Project FLICS scholars, that we are going to improve our courses and align with best practices on between our disciplines and just overall for adult learners, that we have interdisciplinary coursework, group assignments, clinical field experiences that are going to be shared between our school counselors and educational diagnosticians, all of which will be specialized in that low incidence disability sequence and how to support learners who require extensive supports. The content experts and advisory board will review and evaluate our programs. The FLICS members integrate iterative content expert and advisory board feedback. So as we are developing our evaluation tools, piloting them, and implementing our programs, we will, of course, consult feedback from this list of individuals who will be supporting our project. The next piece is a focus really on that interdisciplinary clinical experience and making sure that we are addressing the needs of our school partners and that we're creating scholars and essentially employees that will potentially be able to benefit the schools and the students there as well. So in the interim versus the long term, we know that the interim is that process in which scholars are going to be enrolled, retained, and going to meet their competencies, complete their coursework, and be able to demonstrate evidence-based practices in the clinical experience. Next, they'll be able to be very specific in their interdisciplinary knowledge and skills. Because they're learning alongside one another, it stands to reason that they will learn from each other as well. And we will be able to measure those efforts as we move through using our tools discussed below here. Again, leaning onto faculty members for FLICS, leaning into our partners within the community, as well as people who are supporting the grant in terms of the content experts, advisory board, and external evaluator. All of these individuals will play a major role in how we're developing tools and how we're implementing feedback as well. In terms of the long-term benefits, we're hoping that special education and school counseling professionals are going to graduate and obtain employment, ideally with our district partners who are working closely with us on this project. We're hoping that the graduates and employers and families are going to be highly satisfied according to measures, surveys, and we're hoping that the interdisciplinary knowledge and readiness for serving those high needs youth are going to be readily available to our partners as the students graduate and get jobs. When graduates are continuing to implement and contribute to the MTSS capacity and workforce stability, that will lead to, of course, the outcome effectiveness and evaluations. So our proposed measures are going to be adapted and reviewed by content experts, external evaluator, the local advisory board, our school partners, parents, families, our resources on campus, and we'll have data collection analysis, recruiting, reflecting our recruitment practices, retention, GPA, graduation rates, passage rates for licensure examinations, our employment, satisfaction, social media metrics, and so forth. Our surveys for scholars and school partners and employers, families are going to just get the perceptions of those individuals to ensure that we are meeting the needs of our scholars, of our students, and of the individuals within the community as well. There are going to be interviews with parents in addition to those surveys so that we can make sure that we have the voices of those youth and stakeholders as well with regards to their levels of support and how they feel the grant met their needs. The students who participate in the grant met their needs. Finally, in terms of portfolio and documents, we'll have reflection logs, contact logs for advisory meetings, we'll have university and school supervised evaluations, and interdisciplinary planning documents to document how successful our project is overall. So currently, between fall 2021 and now, we have been in the middle of a planning year. And that was based on our recruitment efforts, which are underway. And we have been working with content experts, external evaluators, and local advisory board members to assess our syllabi alignment and develop program assessment measures. Those will be piloted and implemented by fall 2022. So our next evaluation will be reflected in data according to fall 2022 to spring 2023. And we do look forward to sharing that data with you as they become available next year. Thank you for the opportunity to present on Project FLICS and how this interdisciplinary effort works to diversify the employment between our school counseling, related service providers, educational diagnosticians, as well as our special educators to serve our individuals who require extensive supports in our classrooms. For further information or to contact with questions, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. Myself, Ashley, our colleagues Jennifer and Phyllis would be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you for your time.